You are the president of a tenants association. He clearly doesn't like you.
I heard him screaming about me, saying that I do whatever I want, ruining my reputation.
That's his opinion. Let somebody else be president of the board.
I really enjoy my work.
Well, this is part of your job. You have to deal with people who disagree with you.
This is Judy Justice. Margaret McNulty is suing her neighbor, Angel Rittenberg, for defamation, harassment, and assault.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, please.
Judge, case 4029, McNulty versus Rittenberg.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. McNulty, you are the president of a tenants association where you live.
Correct.
Mr. Rittenberg lives in that community.
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been president of the association?
10 years now.
And Mr. Rittenberg, how long have you lived in that community?
June of 2021.
It is your claim, Ms. McNulty, that the defendant defamed you and some nonsense about an assault where you weren't injured at all, where the defendant allegedly grabbed a wallet out of your hand, a checkbook out of your hand. I'll hear that, but it's actually nonsense. Your claim for defamation, however, I will hear. I would like to know what you claim he said about you, how he said it, how he published it.
Okay. He sent out mail with self-addressed stamped envelopes to come back to him, to every person in the building.
Do you have a copy of that letter?
The first one, no.
And if you don't have a copy of that letter, it doesn't exist. Do you have a copy of the second one?
Yes.
I'd like to read it. Okay. Well, this is a letter that he sent out as treasurer of the association, and he's questioning the last voting procedure that was held in the association. And there's nothing defamatory in here.
It gets worse.
There's nothing defamatory in here. He's questioning some of the things that he claims occurred during the election process that were not according to regulations, both association regulations and HUD regulations. So he's claiming irregularities, and he's sending this out to the people. And at the end, he's requesting that Margot, which would be you, adheres to established rules and regulations, including making all board meetings open to tenants and complying with federal guidelines to ensure fair and transparent elections. And he CC'd somebody from HUD and SFHA.
San Francisco Housing Authority.
Okay.
And that's not the first one that he put out.
Well, that's okay. He's allowed to do that. He says here a couple of things. He makes some statements. He says, Margot, that's you, counted the votes prior to depositing them in the ballot box.
And that's a lie.
Now, Mr. Rittenberg.
Yes, ma'am.
What evidence do you have that the plaintiff counted the votes prior to depositing them in the ballot box?
Well, I have witness accounts. People that were
just
at
a
the
second.
meeting.
You weren't there.
No, I
Do you
wouldn't.
have a witness here?
Yeah, Stacy was at the meeting.
Okay. Your last name is?
Stacy Cole.
Ms. Cole, this says that Ms. McNulty, at the last meeting, this is dated July of 2024, counted the votes prior to depositing them in the ballot box. Did you witness that?
No, ma'am.
Did Ms. McNulty ever tell you that she counted the ballots prior to putting them in the ballot box?
No, ma'am.
Sir?
Apparently, I had the wrong information.
Good. Now you can sit down.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Margot controls the keys to the ballot box. Do you control the keys to the ballot box?
There were no keys to the ballot box, and we couldn't use it that day. We had to make a pile in front of the ballot box, so no.
Okay. What else did he do to defame you, Ms. McNulty?
He put out that I was late for a meeting for SFHA. So that,
May I see what you're talking about?
I'm hoping he has it, because that's actually the first one.
No, madam.
I didn't think
he
I'd be
doesn't
suing
have
him,
to
so.
prove anything. This is your case. You have to prove that he defamed you.
I can prove this further backs up my story.
Well, tell me what it is.
This is something that he accompanied in the surveys that he sent out in the self-addressed stamped mailings, which were like 3 waves of them so far.
May I see
And this
it,
says,
please?
okay, and in every language too. And he'd poster the walls with it as well.
Just a second. Okay, well, this is his opinion. If you were present at either meeting, you witnessed Margot's disrespect for the bylaws and rules and what she thinks of us and how she disregards your rights as members of the association.
I do not disregard their rights.
Well, that may be. That's his opinion. That's what he thinks. All right. My report I sent to the surveyor said Margot and he had arrived 20 minutes late. The truth is there is no official notation of the time they arrived, but it was after the meeting was called to order. I was inaccurate by stating that they arrived 20 minutes late. I don't know how many minutes late they arrived. It was wrong for me to make this statement with no facts, and I apologize to Margot. Moving forward, I promise to be factual and truthful and stick to the facts, especially when reporting back to tenants. Did you write this, sir?
Yes, the apology, yes.
Yes, okay. Because you were wrong that she arrived late.
Yes.
Okay. He said he was wrong. He apologized for it. What's next?
It's a sarcastic apology. But
what's next?
Okay, he's doxed my personal correspondence.
He what?
Doxing.
What is that?
Doxing? It's when you share correspondence that's supposed to be private with other people.
What private correspondence are you talking about?
All my texts.
Your texts to whom?
Texts to various people. He's put them on together and handed them out.
Just a second. These are texts that evidently people who you sent texts to shared them with him?
I know.
Well, then somebody gave them to him. Then somebody shared them with him. Then they are no longer your personal texts with somebody.
Well, it's the private integrity that you expect privacy in your conversations, and there's no integrity or public trust.
If you sent a text to somebody, he can't go into your computer and hack your computer and take out those texts. He's not permitted to do that. But if the person to whom you corresponded voluntarily gave those to him...
He can't share that, can he?
Yes, he can.
Margaret McNulty claims her neighbor, Angel Rittenberg, owes for defamation, harassment, and assault. Angel is countersuing Margaret for defamation and the costs of mailing residents.
Okay, Miss McNulty, I want to explain something to you. If you send someone a letter, I send a letter to Sarah. It's a private letter. If Sarah decides to share it with Whitney, and Whitney says, look, I got this letter from Sarah that I got from her. I didn't hack anything. I didn't steal her mail. And she says, I'm going to show this letter to Kevin. She can do that.
Your private communications?
I just explained it to you.
Your Honor, I'd like to mention that even though these are just a couple of the things that we're mentioning so far, that there was an instigating point in this. Like something that started all this was his hate mail against me, which you haven't concluded yet, I understand.
Well, I haven't seen it yet. So far, what I've seen is sort of benign. It's somebody on the board who, for some reason, doesn't like the president of the board or doesn't like the policy or doesn't like the presentation, and he's communicating with the rest of the tenants. And so far, I haven't seen anything defamatory.
There was a candidate that came recently to our building, and we wanted to celebrate them or give them a platform to speak to the tenants. And I heard him and everyone in front of everyone screaming about me, saying that I do whatever I want, ruining my reputation. And he's gone so far as to government agencies, to this candidate that, I mean, I'm starting my political career now.
Something. He's allowed to express his opinion. He's not allowed to say anything that's untrue, that's not an opinion. He can say, I think she is the worst president of the Tenants Association that you could ever elect. That's his opinion. He can't say Miss McNulty has a venereal disease. He can't say Miss McNulty robbed a bank in 1967, unless you did. He can't say Miss McNulty kills animals in her apartment, unless it's true. He can't say things that are not his opinion that aren't true. So far, he said she does whatever she wants to do. That's his opinion. He sends out notices to tenants. When he gets it wrong, he said, I think I got it wrong. He clearly doesn't like you.
Clearly.
Okay. That's not a crime.
You just stated that he's not allowed to put out lies about me. That first letter that you were reading, if you go on there, there's everything there is a lie, and I can prove the things are lies.
What?
You know, he can have his own opinion, but he's taken things. And
I would like you to read it to me. Tell me if this is your exhibit. Tell me what it is.
Right. The board has been replaced with members Margot has chosen and who are aligned with her actions, potentially allowing unchecked control over decisions, including financial matters.
That's his opinion. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
He's allowed to say that.
Scheduling appears to have been structured to support an agenda aligned with the needs of the...
Also his opinion.
Okay.
Appears to have been structured. Also his opinion.
Okay, this violates your rights to fair election. He's going on and on about this election being fair, where we covered everything by the book.
That's his opinion.
Oh, then he can say, isn't that a lie, though?
No, it's not a lie. It's his opinion. He thought the election was unfair.
Okay, he's done this hate mail campaign to people that it makes a difference for my future. I've started a company that's educating the subsidized housing board of officers.
So?
And training. And so he's disparaged my reputation.
Show me. You tell me that he's disparaged you by saying things that were a lie to a governmental agency. You mean the fact that he CC'd HUD?
The fact that he went to HUD for even this printout.
That's okay. He can do that.
He can just go around and ruin my reputation to people.
What he's doing is he's sending a copy of this letter, and there's nothing defamatory that you've proven in this letter, and he sent it to HUD.
No,
HUD.
That's the mayor's office of housing.
He's allowed to do that.
Okay, I didn't finish on these. That gets worse.
Well, I want to see them, madam. That's
Okay.
why you're here. So far, I've looked at them, and it is clear that he doesn't like you and thinks that you're not doing a proper job in your job as president of the association. He's allowed to feel that way, and he's allowed to voice his opinion about that. He's not allowed to say things about you that are blatantly a lie. This is his opinion. He thinks the election is unfair and skewed to your people. Well, that's his opinion, and you can't prove otherwise. He may not be able to prove it, but that's his opinion. And having lived in many buildings with many, many boards, I can tell you that you feel that way about some, you feel that way about others, you feel some are behaving properly in everybody's best interests. You think some people are acting like dictators when they're president of the association. You think that some mishandle elections by scheduling them at an inappropriate time. You think all of those things, that's your opinion, and you're allowed to write that down. And if it's hurtful to you, and if you feel as if it's hurting your reputation, and if being the president of the board has become too onerous a situation for you, let somebody else be president of the board.
I really enjoy my work.
Well, this is part of your job. You have to deal with people who disagree with you.
Okay.
That's it.
So
none of these things runs with it, unless you have something else to show me.
Well, things that are his opinion are one thing, but these things that he has that are not true.
Like what?
Like that we didn't check the ballots for.
How do you know?
I have the proctor's signature, notarized statement about that everything went according to the rules.
I'll hear that witness.
She was afraid to fly, so.
Okay.
We hear the assault.
Will I hear the assault? There was no. I'll see the medical records.
No, it wasn't that. It was humiliation in front of my members and tenants and broke a nail and was
There's no
hostile.
You have to understand, there is no crime of humiliation. You had an argument with him and he pulled a checkbook out of your hand. That's what happened, according to you.
That's correct.
That's not a crime. I mean, if you went to medical treatment because you hurt your finger.
I broke my fingernail.
All right, let's get real.
Well,
money
all these things add up.
This is his counterclaim. You have no case. Comes with the territory of being president of a tenants association. Some tenants like you and some tenants don't. I've never been foolish enough to be president of a board. I have enough trouble just having this job.
Margaret McNulty is accusing her neighbor, Angel Rittenberg, of ongoing defamation and an assault. Angel is countersuing, claiming Margaret owes for defamation and mailing expenses.
Now, sometimes it's a thankless job. People usually like it because they like power, you know. I live in Florida. I've been in lots of buildings. All of them had boards and all of them had presidents and everybody votes. I could actually never understand it, but I'm grateful for some because associations need somebody to keep the place organized. But you're always going to find people that disagree with you and don't think you're doing a good job.
Well, there is something.
You have to forge on.
Can I just make one point about this? Because I innocently put something out about him and his name, he just started this campaign of everything but going against me. So it's actually snowballed in directions that have taken it to other places. Maybe they're not here to testify. but it was not done maliciously at all. He just had such sensitivity to it that he took it out of me.
I've read the papers, and I've read the fact that the kerfuffle started because Mr. Rittenberg likes to be called by another first name other than his given name at birth. And you posted something that used his given birth name instead of the name that he prefers to be called. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Not a major Geschichte, but evidently clearly bothered you.
Yes.
The fact that I innocently put that out without doing it on purpose. Okay,
I don't know
okay,
whether it was
okay.
innocently or not. That's
Okay.
your statement that it was innocent.
Well, it's intent and impact.
In the scheme of life, Mr. Rittenberg, somebody called you by the wrong name. It's not the end of the world.
No, ma'am, it's not.
Okay. And I assume that that's not, it shouldn't be the reason that you have taken on Ms. McNulty in her job as president of the association. But so far, there is nothing defamatory that I have seen that you wrote about her that is actionable. Okay? That's it. I'm done with you.
Okay,
now I'm done with you. Now, Mr. Rittenberg, I'm going to deal similarly with your countersuit, which I'm going to read. Margot has blatantly disregarded my preference when it comes to my name. Not a crime.
Not a crime.
You know, if I sued everybody that called me another name, I would be busy from now until she receives AARP letters. She has acted in her own self-interest on the board. Also, not a cause of action, sir. I'm reading your claim. In order to assist my neighbors to make the right decision, I mailed out information regarding Margot that she wasn't openly sharing, and she should have. You're talking about all this stuff that you mailed out.
Right, so...
Okay, so you mailed it out.
Yeah.
And it was part of her duty to be transparent, and since she wasn't, she should have to incur all the costs that I incurred sending out all this stuff. That's what your case is.
Yes.
Do you know what I think about that, sir?
You probably don't like that.
No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
You want to
So your counterclaim's dismissed. We're
That's
done
fine.
here.
Yeah.
Have a pleasant evening. Goodbye and good luck. Live in peace.
May I
caught him in a
ask
lie,
for
though.
expenses for sending out the letters to residents notifying
Just a second. I just said to you. You want to?
them of the irregular election?
I just said to you, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
If you want to send out letters, you can send out mass mailings to whoever you like, but that's not your responsibility. And if you choose to act as an independent person and send out mail, that's not her responsibility to pay for it, because in your mind you say she's supposed to be transparent. You want to do that? That's fine. Nobody's going to pay for it but you. You want to be good Sam? Do it. What I'm telling you is, sir, life is short.
Javon,
If you think that's...
it's so important. I know you don't like it, but I didn't want you to leave before you...
We're done.
Well, the only way to deal with a non-actionable cause of action is to dismiss the case. I'm just surprised that you listened for that long, knowing that there was no cause of action. But maybe in all that paperwork, we were hoping there would be something as we got through. But
She was offended, and to her...
being offended...
Being offended was a sufficient cause for defamation. He's entitled to have his opinion as treasurer. He didn't come from off the street. He's part of the association, at least he was. And he's allowed to have an opinion as to whether she's doing a good job, whether she controls the board, whether she fixes the election time that's inconvenient. He's allowed to have an opinion about all these things. The thing is, I think he started with her because she called him by the wrong name.
Sure.
I think it escalated from there. But my sense is that all these people who were here from the building, they have sides. They either side with him or they side with her. That's what happens when you live in a building and you get too intimate.
I know you and I have both dealt with New York City co-ops, and we just sign our papers, send them back. We want nothing to do with the meetings and the board and the voting. We say, you know what, whoever's super involved, you guys just take the reins on that.
You're devoting your time.
That's my belief, at least.
Well, that's what we've done. But you do need people.
Oh, of course. It's an important job.
A governing body, and you hope that you elect people that are doing it for all the right reasons, not for themselves, not for the power, but to do good work for the place where they live. I have a feeling with this lady, it's a whole bunch of stuff.
But that's why it's very important to vote and to have your say. If it is very important to you, like it seems to be to the defendant, that's your next step, not
that's your next step.
Wasting all your time sending out these letters and then expecting to get paid for it.
Yes,
so
then wanting to get paid for the postage.
Yeah.
Yes, I think.
Wow. This case was basically a neighborhood feud that exploded into a courtroom battle. The judge made it crystal clear. Just because someone's criticism hurts your feelings doesn't mean it's defamation. If it's an opinion, it's usually protected. McNulty felt her reputation was being damaged, while Rittenberg believed he was exposing problems in the Tenants Association. But in the end, the judge dismissed both claims. My favorite line? Life is short. Live in peace. What do you think? Was this legitimate criticism or a personal vendetta that went way too far? Let me know in the comments.